in wholesaling houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter. Oh, my water's in here. Where I teach you how to invest in real estate in New York, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. Now, question I got is, and I get this question all the time, is now a good time to invest in real estate? So the answer is always yes. Now you may say, what? That's nuts. What if the market's about to crash? I know people that are extremely successful who started right when the market crashed, right? 2007, 2008. I know people who were extremely successful who started in the middle of the crash, after the crash, 20 years before the crash. It's a long process. That's true, especially in New York. It's really long. You know, you're going to look at gurus online. They're going to tell you, oh, make $12,000 in 2 weeks. In New York, this is a long slog. It takes a year and a half. For the first 4 years I was in business, I bought almost exclusively at auctions, live auctions, online auctions, and I didn't do any direct-to-seller marketing. I got rehabbed every property. 4 years of that, right? 4 years. I wish with all my being that I had started going direct-to-seller when I started. Right? I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about wholesaling. I didn't know anything. The concepts weren't even in my head. The only way I understood to make money was to buy something at a foreclosure auction, fix it up significantly, put significant rehab into it, and sell it. If I had been going direct to seller then and I had 4 more years of marketing under my belt, I would be in a much better position now. So what's the Chinese saying? The best time to plant an oak tree is 30 years ago, and the second best time is today. If you want to get into real estate in any form, right? Today is the day to do it. And I don't care when you're watching this video. Today is the day to do it. Sorry. So the problem that we have, and I'm guilty of this too, is that we think, well, the market is cyclical, and it is, and I don't want to be that jerk who buys at the top. So here's the problem with that thinking. Number one is you'll never know when the top is. It's not like one day somebody announces this is the top. Even if you're looking at a chart from 10 years ago, that chart is not indicative of where the cycle is in all the places, right? The cycle was different in New York than it was in Atlanta. The cycle was different in Florida than it was in California. So the concept that I don't want to be that sucker that buys the top, it really doesn't make a lot of sense if you're doing what I do. So what I do is I buy properties at a significant discount, and then I either wholesale them, which means I assign the contract, I wholesale them, which means I do minimal work to it and put it out on the market to a regular end user retail buyer, or I'll rehab them, right? I'll flip them, right? I'll buy them, I'll do major work to it and put it out there. If you're buying properties at a significant discount, and the key is significant, right? That word, and we'll get into that a little more in a little while. Even if you're buying at the top, right, and there's going to be some room between what you estimate you're going to sell it for and what it's really worth, there should be enough room for you to be okay there. Now, obviously, you may make less money if the market goes down a little, but if you have enough room and you buy at a significant discount. So what is a significant discount? So I'll give you my basic formula for what I look to do. In general, I would wholesale every property if I can. I can't, because I can't pay the prices that I want to pay every time, or there's some other factor that precludes me from doing that. So it might be that there's a tenant in the property, or some kind of other problem where I can't sell it to a cash buyer for the price that would make me money. So in general, what I look at is to buy properties at 70% of the ARV, the after repaired value. So what does a fully renovated house go for? Take 70% of that and subtract the repairs from it. So some basic math, right? If I look and I see a property selling for $500,000 all redone, I'm going to look to pay $350,000 minus repairs. If there's $100,000 repairs, I'm going to look to pay $250,000 for that house. That's 50% of ARV. Now, if you're buying properties at somewhere around there, even if the market shifts in a big way, you're still going to be okay. Now, I then look to wholesale sell the property to an investor who will pay 80% of ARV minus repairs. Now, you may be coming from some other gurus outside New York and say, that's crazy. Nuts! These rehabbers you're going to sell to are never going to pay 80% minus repairs. So you got to understand, right? In New York, where our ARVs are $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, that 20%, right? The 80% of ARV, so they're giving 20%, is $100,000, $150,000. For a lot of people, that'll cover their profit and there's soft costs. If you're talking about operating in an area like Port St. Lucie, Florida, or Lubbock, Texas, places where things sell for $150,000, $200,000, $300,000, that 20% is much less, right? It's $20,000, $40,000, $50,000. That might not be enough for some people to make profit. Now, in some of those places, people will buy 87% of ARV. But my point is, and it never works out exactly to 70 and 80, but that's the general guidelines I'm working on. So if you're buying at enough of a discount, and listen, I thought the market would shift years ago, right? I really made a switch a long time ago because I thought the market might shift. We were, 10 years into an upcycle, and I was wrong. That's fine. It doesn't matter, right? That's the thing people think. Well, if I'm going to get into this business and I don't predict the market right, I'm going to get screwed. It doesn't work like that, right? Everything you think you're going to do is going to change over time. So, like, I never thought I'd be going direct to seller when I started the business in 2012, 13. But I am, and I'm much happier doing that. And that's the kind of thing that when you get into a business, right, especially a real estate business, you're going to adjust as things come along, right? If you're going direct to seller, you're going to adjust which marketing channel you use based on how much money you have and how much time you have. When you are dispositioning properties, right, you may not want to wholesale it, right? I have coaching students that don't want to wholesale. They want to flip the property. They want to do the work and sell it. That's fine, right? If that's what you want, that's great, as long as you have some money available to do it. But the idea that I'm not going to get into business because now is not a good time to get into real estate is, honest to God, never the worst thing anybody's ever said. It's just not true. And you're going to hear that a lot, right? You hear stupid things like that a lot. There was a period of time where I was looking to buy businesses, and I found every business owner I spoke to was telling me how bad that industry was. It used to be great, now it sucks. Everybody said the same thing. When I started, this was so easy. It's just bullshit, right? It's just the same bullshit over and over again. Every business is like that. Things change. You have to adapt. Things get more complicated, and you have to adapt. That's how every business goes. So the idea that I'm not going to get into a business that I want to get into because some jerk off on the internet or some guy told me that now is a bad time is just stupidity. The sooner you get into anything, the better you're going to be. I believe with all my heart that the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that the successful people have failed a million more times than the unsuccessful people. And the unsuccessful people failed and gave up. I have people coming into my office who tell me, honest to God, I've been a wholesaler for 3 years. When I ask them how many offers they make, they tell me 3. I go, well, if you're making 1 offer a year, your chances of getting a deal are very low. And then I hear things like, oh, nobody wants to sell, everybody wants retail. That is the same bullshit that happens all the time, right? And as you do this for more time, first of all, you get accustomed to it, right? So for example, if you're new and you cold call 10 people and 4 of them tell you, why the hell would I ever sell to an investor? In your head, you think no one wants to sell to an investor. If you're doing this for 10 years and 4 people tell you, why would I sell to an investor? It doesn't mean a thing to me, right? I know there's enough people out there, and it is a numbers game. Marketing is a numbers game. You have to market to a huge list. I have people come to me telling me I got a list of 200. I haven't had any luck with it. I'm like, that's a ridiculously small list. If I had a list of 200, I probably wouldn't get a deal off it, and I know what the hell I'm doing. You need bigger lists. So I tell most people you got to get a list of 10,000 people that are likely to sell for a variety of reasons. It could be they could be old and living there a long time. They might be some kind of distress they're under. Whatever it is, you can get lists in our area. It's harder to get lists in our area than in other places, but you get a list of 10,000 people that are likely to sell, and that should last you 6 to 9 months, and hopefully you'll get a deal out of it. And that's it. Like, that's how it works. But the idea that I'm not going to get into the real estate business because somebody told me it's bad, absurd. There's no such thing as bad, right? It's always good. There's so many people making so much money in this business. It's crazy, right? And it's all about how you think it. If you think it's something that you're going to be stick with for a long time and deal with a lot of the crap that you have to deal with, you're going to make money on it. If you think it's something you're going to get rich in 3 months in New York, you're probably set up for failure. So, is it a good time to get in the real estate business? Whenever you're watching this video, I say absolutely yes. I hope this was helpful. If you are interested in other ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are interested in a course, I teach a course to do what I do, and go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you are interested in a one-on-one coaching or finding out more about one-on-one coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you are watching on any channel, please click the thumbs up. The likes really help me. Getting a lot more likes lately, and more people have been seeing my videos, so I appreciate it. And please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. Sometimes I don't know what the hell to say, so the comments really help me. There are no bad comments. So if it's a simple question, even about something that's not on the video you're watching, I'm happy to answer it if it's an easy answer. If you ask me about a topic that I've covered, I'll send you links to a video or videos on it. And if you have something new, I'll do a video on it, and you will be featured on my channel. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you.